folks, my perspective here. In this clip I want to deal with Wolfie's clip that he posted on the internet, right? We showed a ship, right, in the front and a ship behind, right? So what's wrong with this image? Wolfie's claiming that this is real. So we're going to have a look at this, right? That you can see a ship behind the horizon, dropping below. And then he has the cheek of saying that his clip makes flat earthers look stupid. It makes him look stupid. You see, I can show you a clip of this man riding his bicycle behind the horizon, right? Put on some camera shake, right? Put on some motion blur, right? And say, well, this footage is real, right? Wolfie stuff is fake. And it's stupid. And I want to show you why. Look at the size of the ship, right? And let's have a look at that. So who's the stupid one? Is it flat earthers or is it Wolfie? Well, it's Wolfie. He doesn't know how to fake his own stuff properly. Look, if I have a ship, right, and there's a ship behind, look at the size. The ship behind, if it's far away, should be smaller. Because if it's not, and these two ships are the same size, right, and they're both supposed to be on the horizon, right, how can that be possible? Unless, of course, there's a waterfall in the middle of the ocean. Because the two ships are the same size. That means they're close together. Right? That's what Wolfie's claiming. Right? You see, Wolfie doesn't understand perspective. He's trying to fake video footage. He's doing a bit of motion tracking. So we're going to have a look at the motion tracking as well. In other words, camera movement. And in his clip, the camera moves. So besides getting this horribly wrong, the size is horribly, horribly wrong. Because the boats are the same size, right? Wolfie is not a smart man. And then they're both supposed to be on the horizon. I mean, how ridiculous is that? The point is, there are people out there faking things badly. So look, the ship behind should be smaller. That means it would have to be traveling faster in Wolfie's clip, right? Now watch this bit. How can the boat in the front move like this? Unless, of course, he's doing motion tracking. Or he's moving the camera. Do you understand? That's what's happening. How can a ship move? Why? Because he's supposed to be standing still. The camera's moving. It means the relationship between the boat and the camera should stay the same. It cannot change. So watch that again. Look at my clip, right? Go back, have a look at Wolfie's clip. Now do you understand the big mess up Wolfie made in his clip? So now what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at something that Wolfie also got wrong, horribly wrong, was principles in perspective. One of the principles is, look, let's just say I have a camera, right? My camera is set up, let's just say 1.3 meters above the ground. It's locked down. Here's a man on a bicycle. If the floor is flat and that man moves to the horizon, he rides his bicycle to the horizon, the handlebars will stay in the same place, right? He will just get smaller. That's how perspective works. The handlebars stay in the same place. He's just getting smaller. But his position in relation to the horizon stays the same if the floor is flat, right? If I raise my camera higher, right, as in this case, the man's head stays level with the horizon and he just travels towards the horizon. So let's say the camera in this case is 5 meters off the ground. I don't move the camera stays there. That's what will happen. The man's position, his relationship with the horizon cannot change. Now if I drop the camera and I put the camera on the floor, right, his back wheel, right, The man's back wheel is in line with the horizon. That will stay the same right as the man pedals his way towards the horizon. So you can't see this man pedaling towards the horizon and then another man behind the horizon, the same size as the man in front of the horizon. It's crazy. And that's what Wolf is claiming. He doesn't understand this principle, that things don't change in relation to the horizon. So have a look at this image, right? There's a green man, right? He's the same size, right? I know, for example, that because if I draw a line parallel with the horizon, that he's roughly in the same line. His distance from the horizon is the same. But so is the man in red, the little red man. But his handlebars is not. It simply means because he's a smaller man. The size. The horizon helps you to determine size and position. Now in this image, for example, if the horizon's curved, it's not the same. The man's position would have to rise above the horizon and drop below the horizon. What does that tell you? Let's apply this to Wolfie's video footage. That means if you're filming a ship going to the horizon, you would have to tilt your camera up and down. You cannot lock the camera down and keep the ship center of camera if the ocean was curved. It's not possible. But we don't, and I'll show you footage to prove it. And we're going to have a look at this in a bit of detail. Alright, so let's just look at this further and show you how Wolfie got it wrong. Look, here's a man, he's above the horizon, right? His position, his angle to the ship stays the same. That ship just simply keeps that same angle to the horizon. It can't rise above the horizon. It simply just gets smaller towards the horizon if the ocean is flat, which it is, and I'll show you. Let's have a look at the man now. This man is on the bottom, right? He's below the horizon. Therefore, the ship is above the horizon for him. And that ship's position on the horizon doesn't change. It just simply gets smaller. His line of sight, his angle, his line of sight stays the same because the ocean is flat. Right? He's below the horizon. Now this man on the right, he's in line with the horizon. And so the horizon line cuts his ship in half. And it will stay like that. That ship goes towards the horizon, it will stay like that all the way to the horizon. Right? So you can't see this ship, right, in front of the horizon, and the same ship, the same size, behind the horizon. Because if you do that in your video footage, if you fake your video footage and you show that, well, what does that mean? It means you're stupid. You're an imbecile. If you do this, you're foolish. That ship should be smaller, and it can't be behind the horizon, it has to be in front of the horizon. And Wolfie got this simple fact back to front. And NASA, they make the same mistakes. I mean, you can look at NASA's images, you'll see the same pathetic application. They have no idea of what is real. They need to go to art school. And hopefully they'll learn some honesty, because, an artist, he has to tell the truth. No matter how uncomfortable the truth makes you, an artist has to tell the truth. And if you get upset with the artist, that's tough. He just has to tell the truth. Look, these artists who painted these pictures, did they get it wrong? No. They understood perspective. There's no Table Mountain dropping below the horizon. There's no ships. So having a look at these images, right? Look at the ships, right? Look where the horizon line cuts the ships, right? And you'll see Table Mountain in the background. It's not below the horizon. This is reality. It means the earth's flat. No matter how uncomfortable that makes you, it's flat. Look, take time to look at images. Look at these yachts, right? They don't fall below the horizon. Yet Wolfie says he's got a camera that will make a ship drop below the horizon. That somewhere in Australia there's a waterfall in the middle of the ocean. Right? But now look at the sun. Now think about it. So if this is sunrise, right, and you're on a ball, and I'm in the southern hemisphere, then I can't see the sun, I can't see the left-hand side of the sun's rays and the right-hand side. Why? Because I'm on a ball. The ball will be in the way. I can't see around the curve. I will only see half of the rays. I will only see the right-hand side of the sun's rays. And at sunset, I'll only see the left-hand side. Why? Because I'm on a ball, and you cannot see around the curve of the ball. And because the sun is, even if it's 190 million miles in front of you, you cannot see around the ball. And think about that. So we need to take time, look at images. Don't just, we don't look and think. We're like puppets, like programmed robots. It's pathetic. How they've killed us creatively, mentally. They've ruined us. That's what they've done. And we're so proud of it that we don't look anymore. We're blind. Look at this image, right? You see all the people that are on the yachts, right? Look at their relation to the horizon, right? Tells you where the photographer was, right? He must have been below the horizon. So he was on a yacht maybe doing the same thing. Look at this ship, right? Look at its position. It tells you that the person who took this was below the horizon. So he was obviously on a smaller boat. He wasn't on another tanker, because then he would have been in line with the tanker, his eyesight. The horizon wouldn't be there. So the position of the horizon can help you determine size and distance. That's an important part. The horizon is important in helping us understand our visual perception. Right? What are we actually seeing? So remember, look at the ship, right? Video footage, I haven't tampered with this. The ship maintains its same position above the horizon because the camera is below the horizon. It doesn't change. Remember the point with the man with the bicycle? Right. See, Wolfie, he didn't understand this. It means the ocean's flat. Well, Wolfie understands it. He's just trying to trick everybody. He's not a nice man. So this guy, right, look at how the horizon line stays in line with this tower on top of that ship. I'm not tricking anybody here. You play the footage back, watch it, watch footage like this. So this camera is above the horizon, right? Way above the horizon. So look at the ship's proportions. As they move away, they still stay in the same relative position to the horizon. The yachts, as it moves to the horizon, doesn't go over the horizon. It means the ocean is flat. Watch. Use your eyes. Look. Then look at the clouds. Ocean is flat. Right. Now here's a guy with a drone. He flies his drone in a straight line towards the ship, right? Ocean's flat. Now the drone lifts its position a bit, right? See how the horizon, the ship drops the horizon, stays in the same place, right? Yeah, a guy with a drone, right? He does the same thing. Watch how these people look at their position in relation to the horizon. Because the camera's on the ground. So as the camera raises its position, that changes. Now he goes full speed and he's going to go have a look at that ship on the horizon. He maintains his line of sight. The yacht, the ship in the distance doesn't change its position on the horizon. It means the ocean is flat. Now here's some of NASA's stuff, right? Now, to show you how people try to deceive other people, this is wicked. Look, NASA's saying that the Earth's a ball, right? So they've got a camera here. Now here's the stupid bit. I mean, how can people not see this? If they're turning the camera around now, right? And there's the rise and stays. Sorry. How can the rise and stay level? Do you understand? In other words, here's the camera, right? If I'm looking at a ball, right, then I turn the camera up so that the top of the ball's level with it, and then I turn the camera around. How can the ball stay in front of the camera? In other words, from the position of the lens, there's a ball, right? So I'm looking down on the ball. Then I look up, there's the top of the ball. And if I turn around, right, the ball can't stay in front of me. Unless if you don't get it one more time. This is NASA. I think NASA's like Wolfie. They're trying to play tricks with you, you know. It's so stupid, it's crazy. Right, in the next bit, Wolfie, and this is a trick that they often do, to say that, well, there's a curve, right? But things won't lean over on the curve. No. You see, if you've got a circle, right? It doesn't matter how big the circle is. Everything should be 90 degrees to that circle. In other words, the tangent is 90 degrees. In other words, it's upright. It doesn't matter how big the mountain is. In other words, look at Wolfie's image here. If I make those mountains smaller or bigger, the angle stays the same. Angles stay the same. Wolfie's trying to say no, that you'd never see the curve. In other words, you'll see the curve, sorry, but you wouldn't see things falling over. Well, that's hypocrisy, right? In other words, he would say that there's a ball of water, like in his footage, there's a hump of water between yourself and the ship, but somehow you and the ship are both upright. That's what he's saying. And it's an old trick. In other words, a hot air balloon, the higher it rose from your position, the further away it would move from you. But from the position of the hot air balloon, right, it's maintaining the same 90-degree angle to the surface. Wolfie would say, no, but your scale here is wrong. If the hump is there, that's what is there. Do you understand? It's double standards. How can there be a hump between these two ships? And yet both the ships are upright. It's double standards. Right? And this is what they do all the time. Can you see, if you look at this image, do you see this tower leaning over? Right? Well, if I apply Wolfie's principle, the further away I move from this tower, the more upright this tower would look. It's the same thing. If I've got a stick and it measures a meter from one end to the other end, then I turn the tape measure around and I measure from the other end to the other end. It's still a meter. A principle this way must apply that way. It's double standards. And it's done deliberately. They're just trying to trick you. That you somehow won't see a ship falling over, but the ship is on a curve. Right? It's just trickery. Right? So, what's the difference now between this ship and this hump of sand? I said, well, that's sand, right? The sand is bent round. The sand is shaped like that. Well, so's the ocean. That's what they're telling you. You look at this ship and you laugh. But why are you laughing? Because that's what they're claiming the water does. that the water's bent round and that gravity is bending the water around, but yet the ship will be upright. So, take your time, look at images, look at these old paintings, and ask yourself, what was the artist seeing? What was the photographer seeing? Wolfie will show you a picture of a ship dropping below the horizon, yet there are thousands, hundreds of thousands of images that don't show that. So what did Wolfie do wrong? Well, he's trying to trick you. Here's a picture of Santa and his sleigh, right? Now, we just got to be honest, and it's hard being honest. Santa is Satan. It's an anagram, it's Satan. The point is, when Santa gave Eve the goodies, right, it caused her death. So, look at this image. When you see Santa riding his sleigh, what does the sleigh mean? It means you die. You get slaughtered. To slay someone means to slaughter them. You want Santa's goodies, you want to live in Santa's world, you get slaughtered. You pay with your life. We have to look and think. The point is, if you like me and you look and think, then people aren't going to like you. Because they don't want to look and think. They want to be robots. They want to be puppets. Well, that's fine. I don't care if you want to close your eyes and go through life blindly. It's none of my business. But then, don't be like Wolfie. As Jesus said, they shut the door because they don't want to go in. But they shut the door that others can't go in. You see, Wolfie is deliberately tricking people. So, we're all going to be judged one day. And it's none of my business, but the day will come. So cheers and thanks for watching.